Flight 229, you're clear for takeoff.
Hey folks, Maverick Watch Reviews back here with another review for you. I'm really excited because I have something really special for you today. Today we have the Luminox Deep Dive 500 meter automatic diver, model number 1501. But first I want to thank Duty Free Island for sending me this review unit. At Duty Free Island you get duty free, tax free, and free worldwide shipping. Duty Free Island only sells 100% authentic and genuine watches, and they're simply just a great bunch of folks to deal with. Great selection, great prices, free worldwide shipping. You really can't go wrong. Make sure you check out their website when you're done watching this review. And as usual, we'll open this up, look at the fit and finish, the features and the functions, the build quality, and then I'll give you my overall impressions of this really serious diver from Luminox. But first, I'd also like to invite you to become a patron of mine on Patreon. This will allow me to buy a better camera, better editing software, and give you a new watch review at least a couple times a week. Make sure you check out my Patreon page when you get a chance. My only commitment level is $3, but you can always give more or give less, 1, 2, 3, 5, whatever you can spare a month. I would really appreciate it. So here you go. Here is the really big deep dive Luminox watch box. I mean, this thing is so big it's almost not even fitting on the frame of the camera. So let's open this thing up. And you know this is a serious dive watch when you see the ICO reg right there, the ISO 6425 certified right there on the top of the watch box. You know this is a really serious dive watch. So here you go. It comes in this Pelican style case. And the difference between this and a lot of watch companies that offer these Pelican style cases, now this isn't an actual Pelican case, but it actually is water resistant. This is kind of the, I don't want to say the real deal, but it's much more water resistant than like say an Invicta or some of these other watches that offer this style of case. It actually does have a little red arrow here, and that's what you'd use to make sure you seal the case. So you can actually use this, I don't know how deep it goes, but it actually is an actual water resistant case. So that's kind of cool. So there you go, you got the Luminox logo up top. Let's go ahead and open this up. And there you go. Now you got your little advertisement up there. I don't know if you can see that, essential gear. You have got over here on the left-hand side, you have got your manual. And then also on the left-hand side, you have got your warranty card. There you go. So, and this is a spot for an extra bracelet, which I didn't get with this watch. You can get another different bracelet with this watch if you want. I don't think it's necessary. I don't really think you need two separate bracelets. Not bracelets, I'm sorry, straps. But anyway, it just didn't come. That's why you see this little insert right there. So let's take the watch out. And of course, we'll get all the specs and we'll talk about this thing because there is a lot to talk about with this watch. So there we go. So let me get out my, my calipers here. Let's go ahead and give you the case measurement. Now I'm going to go ahead and include the crown lock in the case because it's really a permanent feature. So you're looking at 52.3. That's the case, an IP coded case, by the way. Let's go ahead and do the thickness. Thickness, you're looking at about 17. Lug to lug, you're looking at. Let me see. Let me get this right. All right, lug to lug, 50, almost 51. And then you're looking at the silicone strap right here at the lugs. It is, what is that? 30, let's just go ahead and say 30. And then I think it stays pretty thick all the way down. Yeah, 25, so it is 30 and it tapers down to 25 millimeters. So actually 25 and a half, so there you go. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the rest of the specs over here on the left-hand side. Man, this is a really nice watch. You're looking at 500 meters water resistant, which is 1,500 feet. It's actually like 1,650, I believe, or 1,640. It has a signed screw-down crown, and I'll show you that here in a minute. It does have a bezel lock, and that's what this is for. It has a sapphire crystal, of course, in a watch in this price range. It has tritium gas tubes, and I'll explain those a little bit later. It has a helium escape valve over here at 9 o'clock with that little red accent circle right there, and I'll explain that later as well. It has an ETA 2826-2 movement inside. Some people will pronounce that ETA, but I say ETA. But anyway, that offers you a 40-hour power reserve. It has a date function over there at 3 o'clock, a nice big date function, which I really like. Looks like it also has a little white bezel around that date function. It is ISO 6425 rated for diving. This is for mixed gas. This is a legit serious dive watch, y'all. And of course, it is Swiss made. So there you go. So there's a lot to go over with this watch. Now, I'm not a dive watch expert. I know quite a bit about them, but when you get to this level of dive watch where you can use mixed gas and all that other type of stuff, that's well beyond my wheelhouse when you're talking about that. So basically, this is one of those watches that if you're like a Navy diver or some professional diver, this is what you would want on your wrist. Obviously, it's not as expensive as a Rolex, Submariner, or some of these other really, really deep diving watch like the Submariner or the, what is the other the Deep Sea, the Rolex Deep Sea. There are a couple different really, really famous deep diving watches out there. And this is not as expensive as those, but it definitely can get the job done. Really, really cool. It's very heavy. Let's talk about the case. Really, really thick case. Not overly thick though. It's definitely wearable. You can definitely pull this off. It wears a little bit thinner than it looks, if that makes any sense. I think probably because the black kind of minimizes the size a little bit. But you have a nice IP-coated stainless steel case. What else? It's very, very legible. You can see all the indexes. The indexes all have a tritium tube in them, and then the 12 o'clock has 3 tritium tubes, and there's also 1 tritium tube in the 12 o'clock pip up here on the bezel. And I'll explain what those tritium tubes are here in just a second. It feels like it's made from one solid piece of stainless steel. I mean, the whole watch, everything, the case back, the bezel, everything. It just oozes quality. You know, when you put something in your hands, you could just feel the quality, the craftsmanship, the design that went into making something like this. Really, really impressive. And it also has an awesome ETA 2826-2 movement in it. It's a little bit regulated. So it's going to keep great time. Now, it's not going to be a chronometer, and a chronometer is where they're actually they're tested in different environments, pressures, depths, angles, that type of stuff. But it's a regulated movement, so it's going to keep great time. Really, really like that. So let's talk a little bit more about the dial. Of course, you can see all those tritium tubes, and what tritium tubes are. They're basically, tritium is a gas, okay, and it's a gas that will glow for about 25 years, give or take a couple years, with a very, very faint glow, okay? Now, this is not solar powered. You don't need to charge this in the sunlight or anything. The gas is actually inside of the tubes. Now, for those of you that know what tritium tubes are, you can maybe skip forward, a few seconds of this review, but the people that don't, it's basically a gas. It's radioactive. It's mildly radioactive. And because of that radioactivity, it glows. And it'll glow for about, like I said, 25 years. And again, not solar powered. There's no electricity required in this watch. This is an automatic watch. The gas will just glow for that length of time. So it's really, really cool when you want a watch that you really need to have good visibility at night, to have a watch with these tritium tubes. Now, it's not a super bright glow, as I'm going to demonstrate. Hopefully I can get the room dark enough here to demonstrate it for you. But it definitely is a faint enough glow where you can see it in darkness, and almost, I wouldn't say total darkness. You can see it where the room is pretty dark, or the area that you're in is pretty dark, but it's not going to shine brightly like Seiko's LumiBright. It's not going to shine that brightly, but you're definitely going to be able to see the indexes and hands on your watch. If you notice, the 12 o'clock, again, has 3 tubes. The minute hand has 2 tubes, and these are different colors. And again, I'm going to show you that as well. So really, I love tritium watches. I just think it's just the neatest technology in the world, just for the fact that it's going to glow for 25 years. Really, really cool. So anyway, so on the dial, you can also see the Luminox. That's an applique. It's kind of like, I wouldn't say that it's kind of applied, kind of, sort of, but it's an applique, kind of like cloisonne, where it's kind of like enamel etched. It's kind of a different type of applying something to a dial. It's not quite applied, but it's not just painted on or silk screened either. So it's raised off a little bit off the dial face. Then of course, again, underneath that, right above 6 o'clock, you have professional 500 meters. And it's just, it's a really simple dial. And really, all you really need to worry about is timekeeping. That's what they really concentrated on with this dial. They give you the information that you need without too much. I mean, it might be a little too much writing for me personally, but hey, it is what it is. And it also says it has helium valve. Just to remind you, there is a helium valve over here at 9 o'clock. And a helium valve allows the release of helium gas when you're ascending that builds up in the watch. It does it automatically. You don't have to do anything. It just does it automatically. Again, not an expert in these type of watches, but I know enough probably just to get myself in trouble. Anyway, so there you go. There's the dial. Let's show you the bezel lock feature. If you notice, if I tried to turn the bezel, nothing's happening. I have to release it, okay? And that allows me to turn the bezel, because you don't want to accidentally bump the bezel when you're on a deep dive, because that's going to diminish your dive time. So that's why they have a lock there. And then of course you have a screw down crown, a signed screw down crown. See if you can see that right there. A real nice crown pop. I mean, it's just a really quality movement. So you put the bezel back, you lock it in place, you hear a little click. You'll see where the bezel needs to line up. And then you'll hear a nice firm snap to let you know. Let me go ahead and fix this because that's going to bug the crap out of me. To let you know that that bezel is locked. So if you were to go on a dive, say you want to set your dive time for 20 minutes, you rotate the bezel to the 20-minute mark, go ahead and lock it, and now you know that bezel's not going anywhere, which is really cool. What else? You have a nice red accented hand. Even the second hand has a tritium tube on the very end. Let me go and wind this thing up. Let me show you it in operation. It's been sitting a little sedentary for a while. Let's go and wind this thing up. Of course, it is windable. I don't know if you can, you probably can't hear that. Maybe you can. Let's go wind up. All right, there it goes. It started. Now let's, okay, it's unscrewed. Let's pop it out. All right, there you go. That's the first position. Second position. And you see that it is hackable. So windable and hackable, like I knew it would be. So anyway, let's go ahead and push it back in. Go ahead and screw the crown down. There we go. All right, now we are good to go again. You'll hear it click again. Really nice little click. So there you go. There's basically the face and the bezel of the watch. Let's talk about the strap. Really nice silicone rubber. Really supple. Feels great. Feels great on the wrist, and I'll give you a wrist shot here in just a second. So as you can see, it has 3 tangs. The buckle has 3 tangs on it to let you know they really want this watch to be secure in your wrist. So there you go. Of course, there's the Luminox logo and the seal right there. Let's look at the back. The back has that diving helmet. Really nice screw down case back. Of course, the whole watch is IP coated with that black IP coating on it. Kind of have a little wave pattern on the underside of the strap there on both sides. So really cool. I really like that. I really like that case back. I like that that etching right there of that dive helmet. Of course, the case back gives you all the information about, you know, the watch that you need, that it's ISO certified, its depth rating, other type of stuff. So there you go. So let's go ahead and try this thing on. All right, there you go. So I mean, you can tell this is a serious dive. It just has a lot of presence to it, especially with that red accented helium valve over there at 9 o'clock. Fits great, comfortable, got plenty of room. Just a really nice looking watch. Only thing about IP coated watches that I'm not crazy about, that they will suffer for some scratching. You'll see some scratch marks on it, and it'll expose the stainless steel underneath there. But you know, it's not that big a deal. So anyway, let me go ahead and take this thing off. God, this thing is heavy. You're definitely going to know you have a watch on your wrist. This thing is not light. So let's go ahead and try to see the tritium here. I don't know if you can see it that well. Gosh, I'm trying to get this for you. This is not going to be easy. Can you see that? It's really hard to see. But anyway, you can see that there are different colors. It looks like the 12 o'clock pip is blue, as well as the minute hand is blue. Gosh, I hope you're able to see that. You're probably not able to see it. Let's try it again. Let me turn off the monitor here too. Can you all see that? There you go. Well, that's probably the best. But when you're in total darkness, you can definitely see it. Well, I wouldn't say total darkness. Darker than this room right now. So there you go. Anyway, I was hoping I could be able to show you the tritium a little bit better. You know what I'll do? On the left-hand side, I'll show you what the tritium looks like in a darker environment. So that's what it's supposed to look like. when it's a lot darker than this room right now. So let me go ahead and turn the light back on. All right, there you go. So, I mean, this is one serious dive watch, y'all. I mean, this thing is legit. Now, you can get one of these over at Duty Free Island for $635, and I would advise you to act very fast on that because they don't make these anymore. The normal retail for this watch is about $2,000, give or take, you know, a couple $100 on eBay. But I would highly recommend that you get one of these now. Because they're not going to be, like I said, they're not making these anymore. And I would, if you want this type of watch, again, I would act fast if if you can. So yeah, I'll go ahead and include in the description, I can't talk tonight. I'll include a link to this in the description field so you can go over to Duty Free Island and check one out and pick one up if you like. And as usual, if you like this video, please click on like. If you want to subscribe to my channel, please do so. I really appreciate all of my past and current and future subscribers. I really do. So again, this has been the Luminox Deep Dive 500 meter automatic diver model number 1501. You know, go out there and get one if you like it. Really, I mean, this is a legit, I cannot stress that enough. This is a legitimate dive watch. Good grief. Again, it just really oozes quality. So yeah, if you like it, go over to Duty Free Island and pick one up. And until the next review, I'll see y'all later. Take care. Bye-bye.